Hello, this is Pastor Rick, and I want to welcome you to the Sunday Forum for this Sunday, June the 23rd. We have a wonderful topic, big projects at Emmanuel, next steps. And we're happy to have Pastor Lillejord here joining us on the Sunday Forum.
Good to be here.
We want to map out what those projects are, things that you can expect in the future, but let me start by saying, Pastor Lillejord, we have two stewardship campaigns here at Emmanuel going on at the same time. Most people know that, but it might be good to review them. One is Moving Forward Together. They've heard about that in church, as well as Fling Wide the Door. So could you explain to us what are those campaigns, how are they different, and how are they doing?
Good question. So Moving Forward Together, it's kind of, you think of stewardship as what you're used to, keeping the lights on and empowering all the people on the staff to do the ministries. We just have multiple communities, one church. So from ECC in the park and Emmanuel Academies and Mooring Line Drive and all the things they're in, every year it's important to pay staff well and to support them and have ministries and help the community. And so that's Moving Forward Together. Of course, all those different communities, but we need your support, and you've been doing well and great. People have been pledging and people have been giving, so we're at a good point. The second would be Fling Wide the Door, as you know, started with a bang and then took a little bit of a pause. And so now that I'm here working with staff and getting to know people, we're going to take a little pause, but I'll tell more about that in the Sunday Forum. But we are circling the wagon, so to speak, to make sure that we continue the good work that has happened up until this point.
Now, in a second, we're going to talk more about the projects of Fling Wide the Door, because there are so many of them, and we want to list them out and find about strategies. But let me just say, I think you just gave a report to the staff that as far as Moving Forward Together, as far as pledging and giving, we're running ahead of last year.
Yes, we are healthy. It's one of those things that I've been doing it long enough that when you say we're doing really, really well, then everyone says we're doing really, really well. And then kind of almost expectedly and miraculously, then you don't do as well. It's one of those things when the doctor tells you that your blood pressure is good, you don't go out and have a lot of salt. But you have been very generous. We're in a good place. But summer is a little dicey around here, where a number of people go north and go back home. And so it's important that we just, we don't put the foot on the brake and we keep the pedal to the metal. And so we thank you. We're doing well so far, but we're halfway through.
There you go. So we say we're grateful and we keep praying.
Yes.
Okay, Pastor Lillejord, let's now focus in on Fling Wide the Door. We have several projects here. As you know, the big ones are the atrium. And we've talked a little bit about the atrium a couple of weeks ago in the Sunday Forum. Also the community center / church out at the park. We have the sanctuary, Family Life Center, the media studio, and the Welcome Center. A lot of projects. What makes you most excited about the projects that we've set out?
Well, that's a great question. There's a lot, obviously, when they're itemized, there's a lot of things to do, but that was the vision. And so when you have a capital appeal, a special drive, you can kind of go one of two ways. You can either just go to a general pool and then you start when you have all the money, or you have a designated giving. This decision was made before I came, and that people could give to the kind of the thing of their choice. And so it's kind of like when something is funded, then we go there. So I'll tell you this, that we're going to get very serious about the sanctuary very soon, have a design team that's indigenous to Naples area, and we're going to be refreshing the sanctuary.
That's a good word, refreshing.
It is.
Okay.
Who doesn't like to be refreshed, especially in Florida in the summer? And then the Family Life Center, because again, the lanes were, if you fill up this, then we can do it. I'm excited about all of them, but the way it's going to go, because of the money and because of the scope of the projects, the sanctuary would likely go first, the Family Life Center, the digital. So we were behind a little green screen, and Howard and Pastor Rick hung up some blankets to help the sound. It's not necessarily high tech, but it's the best we can do right now. The atrium has an awful lot of eyes on it. When it's really, really warm and it's raining sideways, the atrium is going to redefine Mooring Line Drive. We are actively pursuing people to help support building a real structure, a real church with walls and a roof out at the Park Church. That's exciting, and some drawings are being made about that, as well as Emmanuel Academies. we have 45, 46 students that we're going to help grow into the ministry. And so all these things, the good thing is that I like to look around and I like to do things all at the same time, but we're going to take a pecking order. It doesn't mean that one's more important. It just means it's funded. But with the help of God and your generosity, we're just going to tick them off, and we're going to do them one by one.
So to kind of close this session, of course, we're opening this up for discussion with you on Sunday at 10:15. What can people up north, for example, expect when they come back down in January or February? Will they see any changes?
They will see changes. They will see a refreshed sanctuary. They will see a family life center that's even being worked on at that moment or done. The atrium is going to be epic, and but we're not going to do anything until probably a year from now, just because we don't want to have this entire new kind of refreshed space not be obtainable and make a big mess in the middle. But there are going to be a lot of changes, and we have great people working with us, Brian Stock and other people who are really experts in this area, as well as your generosity together. We put them together, and we're going to just make haste slowly.
So people will be coming down next year. They're going to see some momentum, and we hope we can ride that momentum into the future. These are important projects. This is part of our ministry, how we're trying to love the neighbor and build God's kingdom here locally and
globally
around the world. And so thank you for your generosity. Come to the Sunday Forum, 10:15, where you can talk more personally with Pastor Lillejord about these big projects at Emmanuel, next steps. Thanks for joining us on the Sunday Forum.
Thank you. God bless. Be well.
Bye-bye now.